this meeting to order. Maybe move through this at a little bit of a different paces here. So wait till, is there a motion? We'll just do Paul here for a second. Is there a motion to allow Member Rosenbaum to still be Member Duncan, Member Coates, Member Blair? So Member Duncan, Member Blair. Please cast your vote. Let Paul in. So as you vote on that, I know time frames are tight, and good discussion from the last meeting. So a couple of things here. I know this is going to make Coach sad, but I'm not going to have him read all nine items. So unless you hear different for committees, we are just going to move to receive and file committee reports, and please review those. And also due to some other things, JD wanted to apologize from Discover Peoria. We are going to try to reschedule them possibly for a presentation at the full board meeting on March 12th, and get the actual information sent out to everybody beforehand so that they can digest it. If that date doesn't work, maybe come back to another committee. But so just a note on there. Do we have enough votes for Paul yet? All right, Paul, you are in to participate.
Good. Thank you.
So that would bring us to the January 27th, 2026 minutes. Is there a motion to put these on the floor? Member Ricker, Member Allison. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, please cast your vote. Motion carried, all ayes. So informational items, we will move to receive and file those unless there's any questions or comments in regards to those. Seeing none, that would bring us to the resolutions. Intergovernmental agreement with the city of Peoria for off-street parking. Is there a motion to put this on the floor? Member Phelan, Member Salzer. Mr. Smith.
I will get moving. So before you here is an intergovernmental agreement with the city. This would be to pick up an additional 85 parking spaces in the Niagara deck, which if you turn around and look out your back window there is right behind us. And really what this stems from is with an eye towards equity. Of course, folks that work at the courthouse, they either have to pay a portion of their parking in the Hamilton deck, or they have to make other arrangements, either get dropped off at work, find a parking lot somewhere else to park. That is not the case in any other department within the county. Highway department, PCAPS, jail, whatever, those employees park for free. So as part of fiscal year 2026, money was allocated, appropriated, set aside to cover the cost of parking for all employees at the courthouse. I think at the time it was unknown, or it was not realized how many people that work at the county had found basically alternate parking arrangements. And so then once the parking was made free, there were several additional folks that came forward that said, I would like to be in the deck as well. Unfortunately, the Hamilton deck does not have enough spaces to support everybody that would like to park in one of the decks. That has led us to the agreement with the city of Peoria for additional spaces in theirs. It would be a 15-year agreement. Either party could terminate with 90 days of notice. The rate would be held flat for the duration of those 15 years. It will be a bit of a walk initially for folks to get in. That will get better once the Main Street entryway opens back up. That's the agreement before you.
Thank you, Kyle. Questions for Kyle? Member Phelan?
How does the pricing in the agreement as it stands today reflect what the cost of parking is today?
The pricing that we have in here from the city is below what is considered market rate for that.
And that's for the next 15 years.
Correct.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Member Phelan?
I think I probably already know the question or the answer to this, but I just want to ask somebody that wasn't parking in the current deck and has decided they want to get parking will automatically be over there, right?
Correct.
So it's based off of the request.
Yes. Yes.
What if somebody vacates a spot in the current deck? How's that going to be handled?
Yeah, I believe it's going to be handled the same way. Right now, even within the Hamilton deck, there's kind of two different tiers of parking. There's the more preferred spaces in the lower area, which can be easier to get out of at night. And similar to that works through a lottery type system. So basically, if somebody would want those spots, they can put their name on a list, and through attrition, as people leave or retire, then those people on the list can move up and get that preferential parking. So my thought is that it's going to be handled the same way with Niagara. If someone would prefer to be in the Hamilton deck, there will be essentially just a wait list that they could get on.
I know we probably already do this, but could we make sure to honor any reasonable accommodation for anybody that has a disability that might not be in that deck currently, but is now that there is free parking available, they might have an interest in parking because it seems like that Hamilton deck would probably be easier to get in and out of. I don't know if that's true or not.
I think that probably would be true, and I would think on a case by case basis that would certainly be something we could look at.
Thank you.
Kyle, while you're on that similar topic, or Mark, for answer the question, for jury, haven't we moved juries from parking to their parking in Niagara deck or Chase deck, Commerce Bank?
Commerce.
So, as you know in the minutes, it was all predicated by OSF purchasing, Point Core purchasing the building and the amount of spots. The rate that we're getting on that is fair market, which is allowing us to make these moves. So, Member Allison?
Just wanted to reinstate, it is the 120-day out clause if something were to change down the road and this wouldn't be needed anymore.
90
days.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. If all of a sudden we become parking rich or transportation options change, yes, we could get out of it with 90-day notice.
And appreciative to staff for getting this negotiation done on this. I think it's a win-win for us and a win-win for some vacant spots that the city has in their decks that are a constant conversation for the city of Peoria. So, and a big win for our employees. Please vote. Motion carried, all ayes. Discussion, so standing committees, we're just going to receive and file. Everybody okay with that? Coach, you okay?
I can sum it up real quick. We had 9 members present, and we had a unanimous vote on every one of the resolutions.
You had a busy day. Thank you. All right, that would bring us to public comments. Miscellaneous. Member Blair.
The Advisory Committee on Small Business and Entrepreneurship, on Entrepreneurship and Small Business, did award 5 of the $5,000 micro grants out of our fund to some great local entrepreneurs.
Member Blair, when does that become public then, and what companies they were?
When I tell Gretchen,
Okay.
sorry.
Other, seeing none, meeting adjourned. Thank you.